Hey guys! So today I'm making a press-on nail set for myself. I'm not gonna be talking in the nail video for this one. Well, I'm gonna be talking a lot actually, but I really hope you guys enjoy the video. And today I'm just gonna be explaining, my personal mental health journey, my self-healing journey, and my self-discovery journey while I do my next set. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that you guys find a connection or relate in some way. Okay, bye bye. Hey guys, so I'm currently doing my nails right now in the video for you guys, and I just want to give you guys a disclaimer that I was really rushing in this video, and so not all things are going to be perfect. Like, the charms in the video look really, like, I don't know, crusty, but I'm still kind of a beginner press on nail tech. So even when it comes to my own nails, they're not going to look, completely polished. I just want you guys to know that before, you know, I get the video started. Okay, a little life update. I've gotten a lot of my work done. It's almost the end of the first semester, which I'm very, very happy about. I don't know why, but I'm very busy lately. Um, I'm very proud of myself for being this consistent. You know, like I've made maybe three, or maybe this is my fourth, I think, fourth video so far, and I've posted pretty much consistently for like the past month or so now, and I'm really excited to continue on this journey with you guys. um I'm still really busy, but I'm not as busy as I was when I first made my first video. I just have, projects coming up that are all somehow due in December. um and I still have a lot to do, but it's definitely toned down a lot more. And by the time I'm like halfway through December, or by the time winter break rolls around, I should be a lot less, a lot less tired and busy. So, but speaking of December, it's very snowy outside right now. You would know this if you live in the Midwest, which actually, speaking of statistics, I went through my video statistics the other day, and there's like a 4% Brazil in there. Um, hi? Okay. Either that or somebody's using a VPN, which, hey, no judgment. Um, but yes, if you live in like the Midwest of the United States, you'll know it's very, very snowy. Like, we're supposed to get a whole lot of snow. Like today, I'm recording this on Saturday, so we already got a lot of snow on Friday evening. Um, but now, since it's Saturday and Sunday, I think we're gonna get even more snow. So I am hoping for that snow day on Monday. It'll give me a lot more time to do my stuff. And the days that I grind and work hard on all of my stuff are usually the days where I wake up the next morning and they call and say, "Oh, no school, too much snow," or "No school, power outage," etc., etc. So, but I do have some good news. I have my college applications done. All there's left is to um have the college actually college applications come back to me in December, because some of them, like two colleges, got back to me in November, and then most of them said that they're going to get back to me in December, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm just gonna get right into the video and stop yapping, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, a little bit of backstory. For one, I had recorded this entire thing, but I think it was too long for CapCut, and so it wouldn't let me import it. But the sound was really like I was fidgeting around a lot, so it just didn't sound right. So here's me re-recording it. So some backstory: I was looking for love in the wrong places last year, and I was really seeking validation from the wrong people, and I was I wasn't in the right places, you know? So that's how I was doing last year. And, I was also, since I was around the wrong people, like certain people didn't want to be around me either. So I was seeking a lot of approval from certain friends. Um, Not certain friends, but just friends in general, because I was desperate for companionship, right? Besides from my wonderful partner, of course, which we weren't partners at the time, but he was the only person I had around at the time. So, and I still kind of struggle with staying around the wrong people, more like staying around people who don't want me around, really. But I'm working towards finding closer friends and finding people who are actually on the same wavelength as me, rather than trying to force myself into a box for other people or force myself to get along with people. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to always click with everybody else just automatically. Like sometimes they're gonna be awkward, sometimes it's gonna be weird, sometimes it's just not gonna work out, and other times you're gonna find the best person you've ever met. So it really just, it really just depends, and it depends on the person. So I don't know if I said this in the intro, but I don't know. Oh, my throat is really it's kind of scratchy. I don't know why. I think I'm developing a cold because I was just talking about the snow and stuff. I haven't went out in like the past, like, since Thanksgiving break started. So it's just weird. It's just weird. Um I don't think that these, voice recordings are gonna last until the entire video. If the voice recordings just end, then I'm just gonna put some music over and you can enjoy the speed paint. But yeah. Yeah, so scratch whatever I said about this voice recording ending until the entire video. I kind of forgot that this video is almost 50 minutes. I am so sorry for that, guys. You know what? I'm not gonna keep apologizing for that because I like making long videos, but I also know that it's kind of annoying to have to, not have to, but watch a 50-minute long video. So yeah, but I tried to shorten it as much as I could. I think I mentioned this in the last little bit of the video, but guys, the original footage was 4 hours long. This was the best I could do. Some of these videos are on 4.0 speed. Like, anyways, I took 2025 as a year to improve from 2024 and sort of a year to heal. In reality, I didn't really take time to heal. I don't believe that I'm fully healed. And I don't believe that there's a really clear way to really find out if you're healed. Like, in my opinion, you're like, hmm, sorry, I'm trying to slow down. But in certain cases, you're gonna be really happy one week, and then the next week you're gonna be really sad, and you're not gonna feel like you made any progress at all. But that's not true, because I believe that you're healed when you don't even think about, or you easily get rid of those thoughts telling you to enact in the same harmful um, harmful coping mechanisms that you did before. You know what I mean? Like I may have struggled with harmful coping mechanisms in the past, but when I'm sad now, I don't, immediately reach for those. I don't reach for them at all, actually. I think to myself, like, I really want to do this. Like, I'm so sad right now, I feel really booty. I feel really bad, and I really want to do this right now. But then I tell myself, like, no, I don't really want to do that. Like, it's just a coping mechanism. And, and then it kind of goes away. So that's what I really believe is when you've really come to heal, like more healed than before. I'm sure there's other ways to pinpoint if you've really healed from something, but it really comes around to like healing in certain spots. Like you can't tell if you're healed. Like you can't tell if you're really like 100% for me at least. But when it comes to a situation, like when it comes to getting over an ex or maybe getting over like um a really bad mental break you had, I think it's easier to um decipher that rather than something overall, like something in general, very, very general. So there's that. But overall, I'd say that I'm just in a better mental state in general. Like, I know I said, like, you can't really tell if you're healed in general, but there's a difference between healed and better mental state in general, okay? Like, healed is like, wow, like, I don't feel any, like, bad emotions relating to anything that happened to me in the past. Um, Feeling mentally stable is like, I'm not gonna tweak out any second right now. Like, if something happens to me, I'm not gonna be like on the edge. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's very hard to explain, and I've only lived for 17 years, so there's only so much I can say about it. Since I'm not a licensed therapist or whatever, but in my opinion, I believe that I'm much more mentally stable than I was last year. I find it a lot easier to control my emotions and explain them better and communicate. Like, I can easily, if I'm mad, I can very easily take time away and say to myself, like, I'm really mad right now. If I say something, I'm gonna be snappy, I'm gonna tweak out, I'm not gonna say the right stuff. And I can come back when I'm mentally okay and be like, okay, so here's what happened, here's how it made me feel, here's what we can do about it, etc., etc. Or not usually that linear. I don't really talk like that in a bad situation. But I can still say like, "Oh, I don't think it's good for us to do that, in this situation." Moving on from that though, I believe that in relationships and stuff, you should not be obsessed with your partner. Is that a crazy thing to say? No, it's not. Like, I feel like in high school, it's very common to be obsessed with your partner. It's very common to be like head over heels with your partner, which is very common. I love being head over heels with my partner, but being head over heels and being obsessed are two different things. I'm gonna explain why I don't think that it's mentally okay to be obsessed with your partner. Like, when you're mentally like no, when you're obsessed with your partner, it puts a weight not only on them but also on yourself too, because you're subconsciously or more consciously um like kind of analyzing everything that they do in a way, and it can easily, very very easily, make you anxious, make you sad, make you mad. Like anything that they do has an effect on you. um And I know, like, you might be saying, like, oh, in regular relationships, like, everything my partner does has an effect on me anyways. If they do something bad or if they do something, like, if they cheat on me. But no, I mean, like, literal everyday things. Like, if they're away for, like, like, away for school, then you start tweaking out, you know? I don't think that's healthy, you know? But yeah, that's just my opinion though. That's just my opinion. You shouldn't be obsessed with your partner. Hate to break it to you. But usually in those kinds of relationships, it's usually not healthy either. It's not healthy, anyways. So, back to the subject of mental health and healing. Being single helps, but it's not necessary. A lot of people believe that, like, you should be, like, fully kind of single when you're trying to recover from something or trying to be mentally okay, which I fully believe that it helps. I fully believe that, if you're trying to um mentally heal and you're already not in a relationship, I don't think that it's a good idea to go back into the dating sphere. Into the dating sphere and trying to navigate that while also trying to navigate your own emotions. But if you're already in a relationship or in a healthy stage of I guess talking, I believe that it can be okay. I believe that, it's fine. I think that you should be aware of how a relationship is going and whether or not this relationship is going to end well, or if it's going well. Like, is your partner okay? Is your partner okay to you, um before you really uh, before you really assess your mental health, it's good to have a stable environment to do that. You know what I mean? It's good to have that. Not that it's necessary, because some people, they don't have stable environments regardless. Like, for a lot of teenagers, they just don't have that because they can't necessarily get out of the house right now, and they don't have good home environments. So, I wouldn't say that it's necessary, but I do think that it very much so helps to be in a stable environment or be in an area where you know that nothing is really going to come between you and your mental health journey. And yeah, that's what I feel about relationships and healing. And, because for me personally, when I decided to give relationships a break and stuff, that's when my partner came in, and I still made my healing journey um, while talking to this person, and it took me a long, long time to finally be mentally stable enough, or feel mentally stable enough in myself, or feel like okay with myself, to really get with this person. And it took me a while. It took me a long time, and I really appreciate him for staying around. I love him so much. But anyways, I have another segment for you guys. I have tips and advice. I just want you guys to know that if my entire like voice recording does not go over this entire video, it's just going to be some music at the end, because I have some more things to do. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man. I am a busy man. I have two essays to write, actually, and I have a whole bunch of other work to do. Don't mind that. Anyways, here's some tips slash advice from me. These are just random situations that people sent in. I'm joking. People didn't send it in. My boyfriend wrote up the questions. Thank you, boyfriend. But they're not from real people. They're just from, his brain. So, question one: my friend is being distant and isn't telling me why. Wow. Um, I would say that you should maybe leave them alone for a while. They might not be ready to tell you what happened. It could be a death in the family, it could be something um really deep, and I think that you shouldn't necessarily keep pushing them as to what they're upset about. Like, if you've already asked them once and they were like, "Oh no, I don't want to talk about it," or "Oh no, I don't want to there's nothing wrong, but they're lying. I think that instead you could leave them alone for a while, or like be around them, like talk normally if they're up for that, like if they're at that level. And then you could maybe get them something nice, like get them a little gift, get them a card, like feel better, etc., etc. And then see how they feel in maybe like a week or so, or in a few days, and they might eventually tell you, or they might eventually not. I think as a friend that you should be, not that you can control these emotions really, but I think that you should be happy whether or not they tell you what's the problem. Like if you're happy, then they're happy, like as long as you're not like suffering through it anymore. But you should be happy whether they're happy. Well, I mean, whether they tell you or not. The second question is, I'm making my art portfolio. How should I go about it? I would say that I only have a few tips for this one, because I just submitted my art portfolio and I can't really mm, like I can't necessarily give advice because I've only been accepted to one college so far. Not one art college, but technically two colleges. And I can't really speak much. But either way, I would say for your art portfolio, start with a portrait of yourself, or something that represents you, or something that you connect with a lot, I believe. And then the rest of them, they should be your most the paintings or the piece of art that you're most proud of in the last, like, I think 2 years. I think it was 2 years. And my when I got my portfolio reviewed, the person who was doing it for me, uh, she told me that make sure you take good photos. I didn't really realize this, particularly because I was trying to submit my portfolios very fast, because like I was just trying to take, picture, picture, picture. I wasn't realizing that, oh, maybe they should be straight. Maybe I shouldn't have the out outside of the area in there. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean like you have to have an elaborate background. Like for one drawing, I had mine. It was very summer focused, and I finished it during the summer, and so I laid it down uh, in some grass, right, and took a picture of it. And that makes a lot more sense than just leaving your table in there with your piece of art. You know what I mean? Like, but this does not mean that you have to make an elaborate background for all of them. For me, I just retook the photos to make sure that they were straight in the camera, and then cropped them around to make sure that they showed only the artwork. And then I basically just turned them in like that. Or if there was a art piece that I really liked the vibe of it, and I knew how I could, spice that up a little bit. Like if I was doing a very snowy or wintry Christmas theme, maybe I would go outside and take a picture of it in the snow, or take a picture of it next to some snow if I don't want it to get wet, of course. But that's just how I would do it. That's some tips that I would give for an art portfolio. And then the last question uh is that my friend has a crush on a girl I know doesn't like him. Should I tell him or let him go? Not let him go, but more like um let him get rejected. I would say that if you don't know this girl very well, you don't always know if they like them or not. Like you don't always know their true feelings. And also sometimes people just need rejection. Like if you guys are young, I think you should really tell him to like go for it. If he gets rejected, that's fine, but you should always like shoot your shot for anything that you do. whether it comes for girls or boys or anything in life, you should always shoot your shot because you never know what can happen, what can, come out of it. And, you should just let them go. Let them be free. Let them go and be free. I think I think it would be beneficial for him whether or not um she likes him or whether she doesn't like him. So, yeah. So that's all the questions I actually have. That's all I have. This is the script I wrote down. The script that I wrote down isn't even 2 pages. But I'm very actually proud of this voice recording because I made minimal mistakes and I can just pause when I do, or pause when I feel like I'm about to. Um, I am. I really hope that I don't yawn anymore for the rest of the night because I have way more stuff to do and I'm about to pull an all nighter. So wish me luck. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And be sure to tune in for the next one. Like and subscribe. And also go and follow me on my Instagrams. My main Instagram is at Heart Callisto, and my press on nail Instagram is Dulce Press On Nails. I think it's only Dulce Press Ons, but who cares? I'm gonna link them in the description either way. So, thank you guys for watching. Tune in for the next one. Bye bye.